This video is to show you how to do this project when your figures are creating what I like to call donuts, which is when their body parts are connecting and creating little holes in your silhouette. As you can see, the two outside figures are creating holes above their heads, or donuts. And then this figure, me making the eye right here, has a donut right above my head where my arms are connecting. So we're going to focus on outlining this figure so that we can still have our donut and not have it look weird for this project. We're going to start the same way we have started with all of our other figures, of making sure that we are tracing the outline of the figure alone. So just the outer edge outline of the figure using the pen tool. And here we go. Okay, as you can see, I have completed my outline, and so far I've only outlined the outer edge of my body, and I've ignored the donut hole. Now when I fill this in, it's going to look kind of awkward without me outlining that donut hole as well. So on the same layer as my silhouette, I'm just going to separately outline the area that is defined by my little donut hole. And you always have to come all the way back around. Now, to start for this, I'm going to swap my fill and stroke, and I'm going to set my fill to be white, and my stroke is going to stay as none. Then I'm going to select my first outline silhouette that I did, and I'm going to reverse my fill and my stroke so that my fill is black and my stroke is none. Okay. Now I have my image, and I'm going to select both the little donut that I've created and my outline silhouette and make them larger together by holding down Shift, because this needs some resizing. Make sure that whenever you want to resize or move something when you have a donut hole, they both need to be selected, because they are both two different objects that you can move around differently. You want to make sure they always stay proportionally the same size and in the same location that you originally had them. Okay, once you're done with all of your source photos, you want to delete this layer because we don't want it popping up in our PDF copy that you are going to turn in. At this point, you're going to unlock your gradient layer. And what you're actually going to do is select your gradient, and you're going to make a copy of it. And then you're going to paste it and arrange it so that it is right on top of the original. So if you can see, when I move this to the slide, you can see that there are actually two gradient boxes here that are the exact same size. They are just placed one right on top of the other. What we're going to create here is going to be called a clipping mask. And that's going to tell Illustrator that we want to fit this gradient inside this little shape. If I tried to fill this shape with the same gradient in the background, you can see that it'll put the gradient in the shape, but it will put the whole gradient in there. So even though there's no yellow behind my figure here, it's going to still put yellow there. We don't want that. We want to create a clipping mask to cut out the exact part of this background that would be showing through the figure in this little donut. So once you've created your background copy, and you want one for every donut. So if you have a figure with two hands on their hips, then you're going to want two copies, one for each donut that is showing. I only have one copy for this because I only have one donut. So I have my original and my one copy. When you're ready, you're going to hold down Shift on your keyboard, click on your little donut, that vector that you made, and then click on the background rectangle. Then go to your donut vector shape, right click, and then select Make Clipping Mask. As you can see, I no longer have two rectangles. The second rectangle all got cut away except what fit inside the little donut. That's what the clipping mask does. It's a unique way of cropping to make certain things fit inside of other things. We're going to do a project with this later on. So if you have any donuts, remember to make the same number of copies of your background gradient behind the figure as you have number of donuts. One donut means one copy. Two donuts on the same figure means two copies. You're going to select them at the same time, and then you're going to click, right click, Make Clipping Mask. And it's as easy as that.